remember the Monday after the avocado event, I just surrendered. And I was like, I'm working so hard. I'm pushing so hard. I'm so exhausted. I give up. And I remember looking for this, like just going on YouTube and looking for some sort of like healing meditation. And I just started doing that. And I noticed pretty quickly the remaining symptoms I had started to dissipate. So that started my journey into meditation. And it was, in the beginning, it was maybe 20 minutes. It was inconsistent. And I started to notice it really helped my acting. It really helps, my mental health got even better. My reaction to things changed. My outlook on life changed. And, I remember just like, even I like lost a little bit of weight that I didn't realize I had. So I was seeing all these things change. And then I remember hearing Joe Dispenza on a podcast. And he was telling his story about how there is this intelligence in your body that, knows better than we do. And, he really like made the deal, right, with God. If he could like really heal his body, like he would dedicate his life to studying it and helping people. And it really resonated with me because I was like, I see how I created, just because of the fact that I'm highly sensitive, because I had the childhood I had. And then I moved to New York and just started doing all the things that would be overstimulating and exhausting. And, and everything from like unhealthy relationship dynamics to bad sleep, to too much alcohol, to a lot of pressure. All of a sudden I had created this perfect storm for my body to express disease. And once I started to change that, it started to heal. So I was like, oh, I created this environment. And I've gotten myself much better, but I feel like there's got to be a way, right? Like I can fully, and I was so down the rabbit hole, like I want to see if I can do this, right? Like this is so interesting to me. And here's this man that's telling me it's possible. So I remember I read Becoming Supernatural over a longer period of time.
I thought I'd have this to
yes,
one,
yes.
Anyone who's my personal favorite of his.
Yes, I agree. It's the best. I and you and I were sort of briefly talking about this before, but one of the things I started to realize, because over time, all of the other interventions I had done in terms of like exercise and sleep and diet, I got to a certain point where I was ending a 10-year relationship where my symptoms started to flare up again. And I went back and I was like, I'm doing all the things, but like, why am I having these symptoms? Or like, they weren't working anymore. And I really saw the correlation between stress, right? Like that was the core issue for me. Mm-hmm. So it was like, okay, the meditation thing is really interesting. And like, I've seen it, work for me in the past, but like, there's maybe some deeper things I need to do in terms of like my nervous system and my relationship to stress. And I remember reading that book. And he started talking about emotional addiction. And I think that was probably my introduction to it.
Yeah. I was blown away when I read that. We get addicted to the emotions of stress. We get addicted to stress.
It's so wild.